Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to update Halsin's quest and help get him towards where we can have him as a full recruitable companion. So we'll talk to Halsin.
The shadow curse is upon us. As foul as I remember it. Perhaps even worse. But with the Oak Father's blessing, we may soon see it banished from these lands.
So we'll choose option 3.
A survivor? Sylvanus blesses us. This could be just the person we need to speak to. Thaniel is no ordinary child. He is the very spirit of this land. If this fist knows where he is, then perhaps we can save him. Save everything. I will go to see him at once. Join me when you can.
All right.
These boots have seen everything.
So we'll take a look around, and we have some decisions to make about who we want to bring to this defensive fight. I think that we're okay with Will and Gale and our main character. So we'll just go ahead and leave camp. And I forgot where we were, so we'll go ahead and go to last light in. All right, so we're going to head into the inn. You see that there's a funeral going on over here. It's a social encounter. We're going to run in and we're going to head over to talk to Arculla, but also Halsin.
You're Halsin. Thaniel said to find you. You must help him, please.
I will, but I need to know where Thaniel is. If I venture into the Shadowfell blind, I will never find him.
I'm not sure I can put it into words. The landscape there shifts and changes.
We'll let Halsin handle it.
Lavender. Whenever I saw Thaniel, I always smelled lavender.
I can work with that. Rest now. Meet me by the lakeshore. I have what we need to proceed, but I'll need your help. Be ready. This may prove perilous.
It will. This is one of the more difficult combats in this act.
Perimeter's clear, Mom.
So we'll head out, and we're going down to this area, just cemetery up here. And Halsin's going to conjure a portal up here on this rock, and then we're going to get assaulted by waves of opponents coming in from up here and from down here. So we'll get shadows down here, some birds and creeper vines through here, mostly physical melee components coming in from up here, and some archers coming up from here. And these are the most dangerous because the portal has hit points and the archers can shoot it from one movement away. The rest of them would have to run all the way through us. So we can ignore Halsin for now because what we need to do is prep for the combat. So I'm going to break the group apart, and the shadows are going to spawn in down here. And we were just in Balthazar's lab where we found a moon lantern. So we're going to go ahead and just put that moon lantern right here on the ground. And that's going to light up this whole area and prevent the shadows from hiding. And we're going to do the same thing over here because we have 2 moon lanterns. So we're going to be in bright light, which is what we want to be, so that we are not easy to attack by the bad guys. we'll take a look and see what we've got in the way of equipment. So for Gale, we're going to want to increase his spell difficulty save as high as we possibly can. So we're going to put this helm on that gives him a +1. We don't have a cloak that's going to help, right? So we got something for poison. We've got something for absorbing elemental damage. Our main armor already does that, so we don't need to swap it out. We're not going to be able to get anything out of those. Or the gloves of thievery. The gloves of dexterity would be nice, but our main character needs them. We can add the wondrous gloves, wouldn't be necessarily terrible, just so that we can increase his armor class. We have no other gloves that are particularly good. We'll take a look at boots. We don't need to restore bardic inspiration. We don't want to remove AC from other characters, so we're okay with what he's wearing. The extra magic missile is pretty good. So we've got will with the additional damage for elimination. We could add this radiating orb function to make it less likely for people to be able to hit after they've been hit by us. We could add an anti-blind so that he can still target spells when they're far away. We could add free action so no one can stop us from casting. We're not going to be doing a lot of damage necessarily. We don't need True Love's Embrace for the Whispering Promise. We could use this ring to cast Cone of Cold or something and then spread a lot of ice on the ground. I think we'll put on the Ring of Mental Inhibition and the Corsication Ring. We'll head down to our weapons and we're going to re-equip the Melsfer Staff. And for shields, I don't think that there's an upgrade, much of one. And we do have the +1 shield, so we can throw that on to give ourselves a little bit more armor class. For Will, we're going to want to re-equip the lightning staff. His shield's okay, his weapons and loaded are okay. We'll take a look and see if we've got an upgrade for a helm. So we've got better saves and something for obscured. Are we inflicting Radiant Orb? We are inflicting Reverberation, so we are inflicting status effects, so we could also inflict Frost. We're not going to be dealing fire damage, we're not going to be dealing thunder damage. And that's not going to help us hit. We can, however, put the marksmanship hat onto Alfira. This is a slightly better to hit chance. Take a look and see what we've got in the way of amulets here. Brand the Weak. A shield might be useful, so we'll start with that. Also, before we get too far in, if we want to, we can equip the Spellcrux amulet here on Will. And that's going to give him the ability to restore a spell slot. And we'll use that to pull a level 5 slot back out. Just so that we've got more to work with. Let's take a look at what spells he's got memorized. And we're going to be involved in a pretty serious fight. So we're not going to be casting Sleep, but we might want to cast Ice Storm. We're probably not going to be casting Featherfall, but we might want to cast Conjure Minor Elemental. We could put another body on the ground using Animate Dead. So we're not going to use Grease, but we'll equip Animate Dead. And if we have any bodies over here, that would be what we could target. I think there are some in the graveyard, but I really don't want to go that far. I don't think that we'll need to do that. So let's take a look at Conjure Minor Elemental, and our options here are an Azer, so sort of a axe-wielding fire dwarf. We get 2 ice mephits, and we can get 2 mud mephits. Our best option is ice mephits. So we'll pull those out. Now, if we want to make the folks more durable here, I will say that we can get Shadowheart, and we're already at last light, so we'll run down to
Must keep
the
going.
beach. And we have not used the strategy yet, but I'll show it off. So Shadowheart has a spell called Aid that she's capable of using, and that's going to give everybody more hit points than they would ordinarily have. And it does it in a pretty large area around her, so we could use our level 5 slot or our level 4 slot. We'll go ahead and use our level 5 slot and cast Aid. And you can see our hit points go up really, really dramatically. And then we'll have Shadowheart head back to camp. Again, we can't all die if someone's in camp. And that would be the thing that would end an honor mode run. Okay, so our plan of attack is going to be to have Halsin go into the portal, and we're going to have Gale cast Sleet Storm in this area, so that's going to knock down most of the people that are trying to come here. Our main focus for damage is going to be the archers while they're still up, and the shadows while they're still up. So Alfira's got lots of arrows of many targets, so when we start getting the ravens and creeper vines, she's going to be able to take out most of them by herself. But in order to assist with that, we're going to take Gale, and let's take a look at what potions we have. So we've had a couple of these come through, these elixirs of bloodlust. So we get an additional action when we kill something if we're using an elixir of bloodlust. So we are going to have Gale take one of those, and we're going to have Will take one of those. So these guys are both going to be throwing lots of fireballs in this combat, and so as they throw one and they kill anything, they'll get to throw a second one. All right, so with that, this is a good opportunity, by the way, if you haven't done so, to save your game. So we're going to get several rounds, and depending on the difficulty that you've selected is the number of rounds that Halsin will be gone. So I'm going to go ahead and get the fight started. I'll reposition Gale up here. And just double check, do we have Sleet Storm memorized? We have scrolls of it. We haven't even learned it. Okay. So we've got to. I'm actually going to. Oh no, we do. We do know it. Oh, I just missed it. It's right there. Okay. We'll get rid of Animate Dead and throw in Sleet Storm. This is an opportunity, by the way, where we would also, instead of using this set +1, we can trust the fireballs to raise our damage and use the Hat of Fire Acuity. So we'll go ahead and put that on. It'll show off the ability a little bit. We'll take Will and position up here. And with our main character, we'll step up and talk to Halsin.
You're here. Good. Now we can begin.
We'll just say, let's do it.
Very well. Once I begin the ritual, a portal to the Shadowfell will open, one that will help me save Thaniel. Whatever happens, I must go alone.
We'll ask what we should do.
With the Oakfather's blessing, I can infiltrate the Shadowfell, but doing so will sap my strength. I'll need your help if I'm to return. I need you to stay here, keep the portal open until I return, and defend it at all costs.
You can count on us.
Good. Now it's important that only I pass through the portal once it opens. The magic is fragile. Any mistake, and our one chance will be lost forever. It's
Understood.
years of study, of seeking the Oakfather's favor, to find a way to part the veil. Pray that this works. Oakfather, hear me, aid me. Force open the jaws of darkness. Make passage for your vessel of light. It's ready. I'll return with Thaniel as soon as possible. Stay close to the portal. Buy me what time you can.
So the portal opens and we immediately start seeing folks coming in, and we're going to start combat. Alright, so we've got lots of opponents here. These pilgrims only have 2 hit points. They're a great place to start for Gale. So we'll prep a fireball and shoot. And this should give us an extra action and increase our fire acuity. Alright, so we take a look at Gale again, and we can see that we've got arcane acuity. We've got 2 rounds here, so that's going to increase our difficulty number. And we've got an extra action, so we're going to go in and we're going to cast Sleet Storm, and we're going to cast it kind of across this whole center area to knock down the archers and any adds that we're going to get. Now we've got these shadows down here. Clearly we can see them because we dropped these moon lanterns. Right? Preparation is great. So we've got a shadow, a wraith, and a shadow. So we're going to start off with the wraith. It's the most dangerous of them. We'll do a ton of damage with that. We're then going to select an arrow of many targets, and we'll try and see how many of these guys we can shoot with our other main attack. And then we've got an offhand attack, and we'll target the wraith. Alright, because we haven't gone with the Bloodlust Elixir, we are done for the round, but we're not going to end our turn quite yet. Now, we've got Will. Will has limited options, but lots of ability to cast scrolls. We're going to click on Fireball. We'll cast the 1 Fireball that he's got to start off with. Alright, so we're well ahead of the game, not too many opponents left. Will has already gotten his second action, so we'll go ahead and target the 2 archers. But we're not able to kill them. So we'll back up. We've got these elementals. They have super mobility. We'll position and shoot. We don't need to use Portent.
Still on my feet.
Position another elemental. Again, our highest priority target is the archer until it's dead. And we can see a couple of these shadow dogs up here. We'll take a shot. We don't care if they save. And then we've got some imps. We'll just position them a little bit. Just to try to block anyone that might be coming through. The fire elementals are immune to prone, so they can stand inside of Sleet Storm without worry. Alright, so we can see a whole bunch of new stuff spawns in here. And we'll take our first attack with Alfira. We're going to use an arrow of many targets, and we're going to shoot the Shadow Creeper. And then we'll select another arrow of many targets, and we're going to shoot the next one heading up the map. And we've got an offhand attack, and we'll use that on this Creeper Vine. So far so good. We're keeping ahead of the mobs that are coming in. Will is out of his own native spells. We'll have him advance forward. We'll take a shot at one of the ravens and one of the pilgrims. Again, we got that potion, so we can take shots here. These guys are pretty far back, so we're just going to take 2 shots at the cursed pilgrim. And then we'll step back.
Unleash me.
Gale has a shot with a fireball. Maybe these guys might be too far back. Nope, it looks like we've got one. We're going to take it. Got to be careful that he doesn't run into his own sleet storm, though. And we'll back up a little bit. And we've got our fire elementals. And we're going to throw out these harpers. We're not concerned with whether or not they make the save, really. At least not yet. Though they're doing pretty well. And last fire elemental. Alright, so we're staying ahead of those harpers as well. We've got these flaming fists. These are up in your face melee opponents, and a couple more of the dogs that are still running down here, and they've vanished for now. If we would like, we can try icing an area. See if we can make them fall as they come through. You can see that this whole water area is going to turn back into ice because we've got these ice methods. That's why, well, one of the reasons why they're the best choice for this fight. So we've got these dogs coming in. They're probably going to get stuck right here on the ice or somewhere near it. These guys kind of run up to the edge. And we're getting more spawn ins. We have some new shadows here. So we've got another wraith and shadow. We've got a full hit on the wraith, so we're going to take a shot. And another. We'll see if Will is able to finish them off. We can also throw more fireballs if we want to. So we've got 1, and take no chances, 2 shots in the wraith. Alright, so we've got another round from that kill. And we'll drop the other shadow.
Can't even catch my breath.
Alright, so we've got Gale ready to go again. He's got another fireball. We're just going to aim at this big crew up here. I don't think that there's anybody that he's going to be able to take out with that. But it looks like we can hit most of them. So they're all hit by Radiating Orb. And we'll back up. Now we've got a bunch of fire elementals. So we'll start following up with that. So fireball number 1. Fireball number 2. And fireball number 3. Now we've got our ice methods. We're going to go with this one right first. And they've got 2 attacks. They've got a ranged attack and they've got a breath attack. We're going to use the breath attack and just shoot it directly across these 3 guys. And we got him, but not enough so to knock him over. We'll have our ice method shoot another ice blast. And we get a little bit of ice around them. Hopefully they'll fall down. Our sleet storm goes off. And they're rolling great saves on this. We'll definitely take the opportunity attack with our summon.
Just have to buy him a little more time.
All right, so we'll reposition Alfira
One day I'll catch up
and
with
start taking shots at whoever the lead is. And we're going to turn off the both weapon attack. That's one. We didn't quite get that guy. But that's okay. We are really trying to just set up our other characters for success. So that's our 3 attacks.
Is my time.
Got Will. We'll move Will just a little bit forward. And we're going to do Eldritch Blast. And I think we might be able to get both of those guys. Pretty close. We got one, which is enough to kick off our ability. We've also got, sitting here, a Call Lightning, and we've got that from some of our Warlock abilities. So let's take a look and see if we can't get this Fire Elemental. We'll reposition. And we'll throw a Fireball on those guys, and then we've got this cluster now where we can have Will cast Call Lightning. And he'll be able to do that each round going on. We've got Gale, still has quite a few lower level spells, so we'll cast Shatter. Again, we don't care if they make the save. We've got some more Fire Elementals. And we know there's a Shadow Dog or two running around here. So if we wanted to, we could shoot out into this area and see if maybe we'll catch one of them. There wasn't one there. We've already fireballed with this guy. We've got the imp that has an area effect or cold shot. The cold shot, not too bad. The area of effect breath attack is more accurate, so we always know that we hit when we shoot it. It's a save base rather than a hit base. We also want an opportunity to take that attack of opportunity as it's leaving. There's where we see our dog. We shot just a little bit too early. So we don't want the portal to get attacked, so that becomes our primary target. And we've still got an offhand. Go ahead and shoot this guy with 1 hit point, or this guy with 54. We'll take that guy. And we get the lucky shot off. Gale, he's got Call Lightning or his Eldritch Blast. The Eldritch Blast does a little bit more damage, so that's what we're going to shoot.
I speak, they burn.
Gale, we'll go ahead and use Ray of Frost. It doesn't matter too much if we miss. This thing doesn't have very many hit points left. And drops to a fireball. Again, we'll fireball. And miss. That was me. That attack doesn't normally miss, so that was me poorly targeting. We'll take another shot down here and see if we can't unearth one of these shadow dogs. and did not do that. We'll take a shot with our imp, and we got him. And we don't know where this other dog is, so we'll fly up. And ice breath out in front and just see if, oh, it looks like poor positioning there. Okay, we'll move forward a little bit to not hit our own characters, and we'll ice breath in front and just see if we can kick anything in, or at least leave a slick area for it to fall across. Now if we want, we can, oh, there we go. And you can see that the dog doesn't manage to take out the portal before Halsin returns.
It's done. I have him. But something's wrong. Dreadfully wrong. No. It can't be.
We'll take option 2. We need to get him somewhere safe.
Yes. I'll bring him back to camp. He'll be safest with us. I need to examine him. I need to understand what's wrong. It's almost like something's missing from him. Come see us when you can.
We're going to go into turn-based mode just to make sure that Gale is not still concentrating. And it looks like he's done with that. Alright, so we're good. We don't have any spells that might actually hit Halsin in error. And he's going to step out and off. He'll just vanish here in a second. There we go. So we'll go down and pick up our moon lanterns. It's just bad luck that those dogs managed to make all of their saves and not be revealed and get up to the portal, but we still made it through, and that's all that's really important. So we'll grab everybody and put them together, and we're going to follow up with Halsin in the next video to free Thaniel. So we're going to head to camp. And we'll deal with the rest of the Halsin quests in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you there.